Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. Today I'm going to share with you a sneak peek of one of the online exclusive bundles that will be available on the 5th of March 2024. So as a demonstrator, I have been able to pre-purchase some of the online exclusive products that are coming along, and there's loads of them and some of them are just amazing. So Encircled in Nature, I just immediately thought I need to have that, and what I thought I would do is share with you what I tend to do when I get a brand new stamp set and coordinating dies. So first of all, I like to have my dies on magnetic sheets. I keep them in the pocket that they come in, but I just put, if there's two sets like this, I just put the kind of leaflety bit in the middle there. Okay, so I like magnetic sheets because they are easier to take the dies off and on, and I can see at a glance. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I know that there are 11 in this stamp set here. Stamp set, die set even. So that's what I like to do. If I get lots of new products, I tend not to play with them too quickly and sometimes don't get around to putting them on magnetic sheets, but I'm trying to be a good girl and I put them on the magnetic sheet first of all so that I know what I've got, and I don't have to be fussed about putting them back in exactly the right place with the tape that they come on. Anyway, and then I like to just have a little bit of a play. So I have a box of retired coloured cardstock. It's dwindling, but I tend to use that instead of new stuff, and then all I did was use the dies that are kind of standalone and just simply cut them out. So love that. Then there's one that cuts out these two leaf pieces, and you can see they go in opposite directions. There is this large, just checking you can see all of this large sort of piece of forest, and then a smaller piece there, and then we've got these, that's the wrong way around, these pieces here, and I've just these ones, that's the wrong way, that's it, right way up. Okay, so you can see that these would look fab. You could have leaves underneath those all the way around in each direction, or you could have sprigs going around. I think once you actually get the pieces in your hand and start playing with them, it's easier to see where, you know, what's possible with them, etc. So that's the standalone dies. Okay, confession time. Something went wrong with my recording, and I carried on, and then suddenly realised that the screen on my phone had gone black, so had shut down. No idea what happened. I will try and keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't happen again. So yes, we've talked about the standalone dies. Then what I like to go on and do is play around with the stamp set. Okay, so let me just move those to the side a little bit. Okay, there are some dies that have coordinating stamps that have coordinating dies whichever way. So this one here, I have stamped there, and then there are actually 2 dies that cut that out. So in fact, what you could have, you could use these independently, and they would just give you a nice irregular shape that you could perhaps have a very large sentiment in it, and there is one that would be perfect for that, but they are designed so that one will cut the inside line, and you can just move that around to where you want that to be. Okay, so that there is a little tab on these, and that kind of ties up with the gap in the stamp. So it's not it doesn't join up. There's a gap there, so that goes in there, and then the other one goes on the outside, and you line up those 2 pieces there. Makes it nice and easy for you, because otherwise, if it had been one die, you'd probably stamp it and then go, is it there, is it there, is it there, is it there, all the way around. We now know that's how that works. Okay. And I also stamped this standalone tree. There is this die that will cut that out, and also this one, and I have already got the die out for that because I'd already stamped it and all the rest of it. Anyway, my problem, not yours. So those are the stamps and dies, and then of course you've got just simply the stamps to play around with. So again, I stamped the same. I then stamped this sort of foresty scene, and I actually stamped that twice to see how that would look. There's this little twisty vine leaf thing, and I stamped that round, and I double stamped here, but I don't like it. So again, it's just playing it around and see what you like and what you don't like. I prefer it just singly going around like that. That's just too messy. But I do like the double stamping of the trees so that you've got more of it going over there. And I just stamped that as it is. So once I've kind of done that, I'm then itching to actually make a card. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so I can put all of these little pieces, and I will keep these until I get more used to the set, and then I normally ditch them because they get a bit tatty after a little while. So I have decided that my first proper card with this will be using copper clay card base, and I've got a piece of Very Vanilla for the inside and for the front, and I'm going to stamp that flower with Memento ink. Like so. It's pretty. I think that my Memento ink pad might need re-inking. I've got a few and I never know which ones I've re-inked and which ones I've not. So I am going to use Lemon Lolly and Granny Apple Green to colour this. And I'm just doing straightforward colouring. I'm not really doing any blending. I'm just going to use the dark shade of Lemon Lolly for the centre there, and then I will use light on the petals and also on the buds. Okay, so just a little bit on those buds there like that, and I used Granny Apple Green. Can't remember which one I used, but just again to add some colour to those little leaves there. All right. Then it ended up like that, and I die cut that ready to use. Okay, it's like Blue Peter. Here's one I prepared earlier. Right, so back on track. This is a E-block and it's a good size for that. There is a larger block that you could use. I find that a little bit cumbersome, just because I don't have a huge amount of strength in my hands sometimes. Or of course you could use the stamping platform if you have one. Okay, so that is copper clay. And I'm going to put this there. And as I say, first play with this, making a proper card. Might not always go entirely to plan. Might just make it up as I go along. So I'm going to use this stamp here with wild wheat. And there's a kind of fork in the stamp. So I'm going to try and have that bottom on the twig and the fork in the middle. So I've got some on and some off. And hopefully that'll work out. Okay. And it just kind of keeps it a little bit consistent as well if you've got something to aim for. I think next time I would leave a little gap between the two. So I've got a tiny overlap there, and then I've got a little bit of a gap there. But that won't matter because I'm going to put that flower on there, aren't I? So that is going to go on there, like that. I'm now wondering whether I should have stamped that with copper clay instead of memento. Let me just see how that looks. Again, it's all part of the process. Just to tie it in a little bit better. Dab dab. Let's add a little bit of the colour again. We've got the dark. Let's put that in the centre. Just in case that I'd picked up any of the ink and I forget the next time. Do we think, was that going to look a little bit better? I think it might. I'm going to keep going. Then we can die cut it and then I'll decide. And if I really don't like this, but I might cut that bit of the video out. But at least we're still recording at this point. Which is good news. Otherwise I might give up. Right, I'm going to use the dark. Should have used the other end. Find a little bit more control with that for smaller pieces. Right, let me quickly die cut this. And this is well used washi tape so that it won't rip the card. But even still, I try not to put too much of it on the stamped piece. Okay, so we've got that one. Let's put this on there so we can get the full effect. And here, do we have that one, or do we go with it stamped in copper clay? Yes, I think I like that. It ties it in much better. Than you do get more of the detail when you use a normal ink pad and your blends. It can kind of smudge a little bit. If you can see, let me just show you that as a close-up. So you've lost some of the definition on the lines that we've got. You know, that looks just more a solid piece than all of these individual lines on there. But it looks nicer, so I'm going with it. So I kind of want to have a sentiment on this. So what do we have in here? We've got "Here for you, you mean so much to me." I like that. And then the decision is, do I put that in there or down there? I think because I've left a gap for a sentiment, then I might put it down there. Now, if I do that, you're not going to get to see much of the bit that I've stamped. No, I am going to put that there. If I move that down a little, like so, does that make that look any better? No, I think I'm going to pop that up and I'll have that there. As I say, it's just a simple stamping card so that I can say I've used it, and then I can design something maybe a little bit more elaborate later on. But I think that's pretty, and it does show you what you could do. That's just using a few of the stamps and one of the dies. There are so many more options available to us. So I'm just going to glue this onto my card base. That'll do. Bring that over and give that a press from this side. And I think we need to have a little bit of stamping on this piece on the inside. So I think I might use that bit that I used already. The wild wheat just coming in on the corner like that. Little bit of a detail, nothing too fancy. Alright, and then that one will go in here. try and straighten that up. That's why I like wet glue. There we go. Now I am going to pop that up with dimensionals. A little one on the end, why not? And then take the backing off these. And then we go. You've had a sneak peek at one of the upcoming online exclusives that will be available in my online Stampin' Up shop from the 5th of March. Just going to give that an extra burnish. Get it to lay flat. And then let's just see what bling I've got. Ooh, they might look nice. A little butterfly going around. Why not? Let's throw one on the floor. Only got one larger one, so we'll go that one there. We'll put a little one in here and another one up there. There we have it. I have a Encircled in Nature, nice and clean and simple card, just playing around about, and I've got all of this to use for inspiration to come up with something a little bit more elaborate sometime soon. I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please click on that subscription button and click the bell and get notification the next time I upload a tutorial. Until then, please do take care. Bye bye.